Hello and welcome to the Afloat podcast, episode 47.
Yeah.
4-7. Countdown to 50. Countdown to 50. How exciting!
Yeah. 50 episodes.
50 episodes. That's a lot.
This is our last one in 2023, so Thank y'all for watching us throughout the year, listening throughout the year. We appreciate it as always, and we hope you stick with us into the new year.
Yeah, can't wait to journey with y'all onto the new year. You know, New year brings more and more exciting opportunities for Afloat, I think. So
it does.
We're
gonna talk about them.
Yeah, we got some stuff to talk about today. It'll be good.
Yeah.
I gotta ask you real quick though.
Yeah.
God damn it! Hold on. Let's slow ourselves down. First of all, check us out here on YouTube at Afloat Clothing. You can check us out on TikTok at Afloat Clothing. You can check us out on Instagram at Afloat Clothing. You can see our website with all of our cool T-shirts and stuff like that at afloatclothing.com. So go check us out there. In terms of events, we don't have anything coming up right away, but as we get into 2024, we'll be looking into getting into some more events so we can keep selling to y'all. We really appreciate everyone that we've met in this past year from these events and just from everything we've had going on. So we really appreciate y'all. Really, thank you for being a part of this fucking revolution, this Afloat revolution. But yeah, man, appreciate it. Just want to say that. I do want to fucking start with this question because it's a good one to wrap up the year, but let's get into the fits real quick. Because you got a great fit on.
Yeah, some chill, my usual at this point, the black Air Force One.
Fuck yeah.
Some kind of, I guess, khaki.
Yeah, nice khaki carpenters.
With the Afloat crew neck.
Yeah, the 2022 crew neck. No, this is a really nice fit, bro. I love the pants.
Yeah.
Air Forces look very good with it.
Right.
And the crew neck just clean. It's the clean fit all around. I fuck with it.
As much as this says fall on it, it's green, so it's Christmas too.
Yeah, you can throw that on whenever, man.
Yeah.
Throw that on whenever. Nike socks. We got the pink ones today. Pair of shorts. Scuderi at Ferrari shirt. Let them know what we rep. Home team. Rep the home team over here. Forza Rossa, but it's been a day. I got up early and I worked out.
Okay.
Got a sauna in. Spent some time in the sauna.
Okay.
Didn't do much from there. Came home, made some food, obviously, and just kind of been lounging since.
You been door dashing?
I DoorDash yesterday. I made $20.
All right.
Or so. It's decent.
Okay.
It's questionable, especially when you add in the factor of buying gas.
Right.
Then it's kind of eating away a lot. That takes away. As of right now, it would take away a third of what I've made.
Yeah.
So I was gonna fuck. But it's not bad, What was cool actually that I will tell you is that I got to deliver to a couple different buildings downtown, the apartment complexes.
Okay.
The big ones. The ones right off Roosevelt, right alongside Lakeshore Drive.
Yeah.
Some of those over there, which is fucking cool.
Was it tricky? Or
nah, not really.
Yeah.
It was interesting. So I was delivering to one dude in a building, one of the really tall ones, and then there was another just behind that. There was another apartment complex, and the dude in the apartment complex behind called me and was oh, it says that you're behind my apartment, I just want to make sure you're in the right building.
Right.
But he didn't know that I had to drop some off so it was just very confusing to stitch that out a little bit. Not really.
He's staring at you on his
Yeah, exactly. It was actually so funny. I got there and the dude was he was oh yeah, no worries, bro, no worries. And he kept saying no worries, and it just reminded me of myself. And it was just that's a really great guy. I really like that. Because it was literally I would do the exact same thing as that person in that exact moment. And he carried it out the exact way I would have. He came down to the lobby and waited. He was yeah, no, you're all good. I just thought, you might have gotten confused or something. He's no, it's confusing. I was no, you're no worries, man. It's all good. He's yeah, no worries. I was yeah. I think me and you are similar. But, Yeah, it's not bad, bro. It's not bad. It's not great, but like I be doing something. I be getting out the house.
Yeah.
That's really what it's for, low key too.
Right.
Just to get out the house and fucking do something.
Yeah.
But yeah. But I wanted to ask this real quick.
Yeah.
Best moment of Afloat for 2023. Worst moment of Afloat for 2023.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Best moment?
Yep.
It's tricky. It's tricky. Probably maybe Get Fleet. Like the start of us kind of doing events and stuff, and like
that was definitely a moment. I think Get Fleet was like
it was like a catalyst kind of.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, all right, people fuck. It was like for me, it was like a people fuck with this. Like I would remember that there was like that people fucked with what we were making.
Yeah, that was the first vendor event we did this year, and then we did a bunch more after that. So that's what I'm gonna say is the best.
Yeah,
just because it started like a new thing for us.
Yeah.
Worst is difficult. Worst like. Worst is difficult. Why don't you say your best, and I'll keep thinking of the worst.
My best for me personally, I think, probably was the shirts. Creating the new Chicago design.
Yeah.
I think like for me personally, it was probably that. For us as a total, I think it definitely was Get Fleet.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That shirt really kind of led me into creating more. Becoming just feeling better about what I was designing and actually knowing that I could get out what was in my head, because that had felt like I couldn't do that for like a while, and I just didn't try. So I think that was probably the best Afloat moment for me this year. The worst, it's funny, it's hard to think of a worst because like I really, especially with Afloat, that was nasty to do on camera, but especially with Afloat, I really think of nothing as like a worst moment. I think of everything.
Thing is like that, like that's the whole point of the thing is like it's like even when it gets bad, you keep going and you stay afloat. Like, so you don't dwell on the negatives, like
exactly. And I think that was like the biggest thing, or I think that's just like the thing is like I didn't feel like really low at like any specific point.
Yeah.
Like I didn't feel like a worse moment with it, just because it's just like we learned and we continue to learn. I don't know. I mean, like you could say like our winter like drop.
Yeah, that was like
kind of
really early this year, late last year.
Right. Yeah. And like that was just kind of difficult,
that was
but
just
also
a failure.
That was and like that, and like we just learned so much from that too.
Right.
And I think
we were really ambitious.
Yeah.
And we tried to do something, and the execution just wasn't as great. Like the execution was okay. It just wasn't like
it wasn't what it should. It wasn't up to par for what the product we were releasing or what we were looking to release.
It just didn't, and we didn't do a great job of like presenting it as a product.
Yeah.
Like. So but I mean it's tough to just pick a worst moment. Like
no, it is. It is hard. I mean like it could be like something between that or like I mean it's like kind of like the initial blimp release was like I think a little difficult maybe.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah. We paid a lot for the shirts and then we didn't sell a lot of shirts and then
like right away, like on like when we dropped on that Saturday. And sell a bunch, and that's always like I think that's can be always a little bit of a letdown sometimes. It's like you remember past drops and seeing orders flood in, and then you get to one and it's noon and 1, 2, 3, and you see maybe one buy or like no buys or something like that. It's fucking hard, man. It's really fucking hard. So yeah.
There's a few moments, but like it's not like any one of them is like this is the worst moment.
Right. And it's not something that I like also really let myself dwell on.
Right.
And really just am like, oh man. Yeah, it's just like, you know what, this is another experiment at the end of the day.
Right.
Like this is just another test.
Trial and error.
It's all trial and error, and there's been a lot of learning, and I think on the tail end of 2023, like midway through the year, and you know, we really started to hit a really good stride.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we're just looking to carry that in 2024 and just keep it fucking going. Yeah. You know, keep it working. That's it. Keep spreading the word. Keep spreading the message. Keep spreading the shirts, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, feels good.
Before we get too into 2024, let's do a little bit of a new segment here.
Okay, yeah.
Kind of what I like to call Float's Random Thoughts. So Paolo, I came up with this today.
Yo.
So I don't think Paolo has anything to share with this one, but he'll come ready for the next one.
Yeah. We'll be here.
My random thought today is just that there was a McDonald's on the interstate.
Yeah.
Like not it wasn't an Oasis.
Yeah.
It wasn't like the big blue sign that tells you where the food is, like what the food is and like what exit it's on. It was on the interstate. Like
yeah. Do you remember it?
Yeah.
Like you vividly remember looking at it and shit?
I ate there.
I never ate there. I passed by, but I never ate. It's such a
weird, like, because if you're leaving because on the Skyway tollway there used to be a McDonald's, like literally on the interstate.
Yeah.
In the middle.
Yeah.
Just like so. Like if you're leaving Chicago and you're going somewhere, you just got out of the city. You're not trying to stop.
Right.
And if you're coming back in, you're like, oh, I just want to get home. I don't want to go to McDonald's.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a tricky location.
Yeah, it is. For where it is, it's like, right in the middle of both places where it's like, I don't want to fucking do that, really.
Right.
Yeah.
But I did. I was young and I did it once with my family.
Nice.
I thought about it today. Like really thought about it. Like, that's crazy. Like,
yeah, it's weird.
Like I probably will never see that again in my life. Like
not something like it.
And only McDonald's could do that.
Yeah, no, really.
Like
I think they're like the second or third highest behind like Subway.
In locations?
In locations, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So but you're right.
Nobody's stopping at a Subway on the interstate.
Yeah, there's more chance of a McDonald's than a Subway. I agree. Yeah, it's wild.
It's just like you think about it. It's like there was a McDonald's on the interstate.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to bring that up to you because it's kind of crazy and it's like something that we saw as a child and maybe didn't think too much about.
Nope.
But it deserves a thought.
It does. Because just logistically it's crazy.
Right. Yeah. It's just kind of wild. So.
It's fucking crazy. That's a good one. That's a good thought. That's a good way to open it up. That's exciting. Random thoughts are going to be fun. We'll see what comes of that. There's going to be some crazy ones between the both of us.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned indeed, man. Alright, should we talk about Travis?
Yeah. You might have come from last episode and are like, what was the concert like? How come these guys haven't talked about it yet?
Yeah.
Well, it's postponed.
Yeah.
It was postponed mere hours before the concert was set to begin.
3 hours before? 4 hours?
4 or 5 hours, yeah. It was
fucked.
Exactly.
I
mean, it was just like someone just like stuck a pin in me and I just like deflated.
I know.
It was a huge bummer for everyone involved, I'm sure. But
it sucked. It sucked. It just sucked. And it was like,
if you saw our previous episode, you know just how excited we were.
Yeah, we were hyped. And like Caleb came over at like 11 in the morning.
Whole day. It was
whole day we were together.
And it was just
and like he went to go in line with his brother and I went to fucking go pick up our buddy.
An hour away.
You went
to drive an hour.
Yeah, I drove
to pick up our friend for the concert.
And dude,
he came in. It was his final day of finals.
Yeah.
In the semester, he came in from Iowa City.
Yep.
To Chicago, or to the suburbs. Paolo had to go pick him up, bring him to Chicago to go to the concert. And in that process is when everyone found out.
Yeah, I was getting onto the like freeway or whatever, and it's like bumper to bumper traffic for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And Caleb calls me right as I'm trying to get on, just sitting in traffic, and he's like, it's postponed. And I had like an hour to think about it. And I was just so upset. I was just so sad.
And you were by yourself.
And I was by myself, and I was just pissed. But what was great is that when I got there, I'm walking up to our friend, James.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
People know.
Yeah.
People know James.
People know James. So, walking up to James, and he's just like, ear-to-ear smile on his face, so happy to be back home. And he's like, dude, you excited for this concert? Like, he's just so hyped. He's so hyped. He took a full nap in the car for like the length of the car ride and woke up and got to like thought he was going to Travis, and he was like just so like, you ready, bro? And I was just like, we'll talk about it in the car, bro. So we get to the car, and he's like, dude, you excited or what? And I was like, man, the show's postponed. And he was like, no. And it was tough.
And it was like, we found out a couple days later when it was actually scheduled for.
Yeah.
But
thank God, yeah, and we're still all able to make it.
Because we thought there's a possibility James might be back in school.
Yeah.
And he might not be able to come. But
yeah.
We're all going to be there. We'll brief you on it. Or
we'll talk about it the next time we're on the pod.
We'll recap it with you next time.
Yeah.
On the podcast, whichever. No, the first episode of the new year will be featuring the Travis Scott recap.
Yeah, definitely.
It was a bummer.
Yeah, that was a bummer. Still a great night though. We still had a great time.
We had a good time. We've been playing a lot of football recently as a group. So.
We've been playing a lot of football as a group recently. It's been great. Yeah. Been fun.
It has.
But yeah, man. You know, that was Travis for right now.
Right.
What's funny actually with that story is that James then called his mom to talk about it, and she was like so relieved because like she only knows Travis from the whole Astro World Fest like situation. So like for someone that only knows Travis Scott from that situation, it's terrifying to let your son like go to that concert. Like, it's horrifying, and it's also like to a certain aspect like, why the fuck would you want to go to that? Like, if that's what happened, you know?
Right.
But like, if you understand Travis Scott is, you know, an artist and like all this other shit, then you kind of get it. But yeah, man, fucking crazy time.
Yeah. Yeah. You didn't believe me at first.
No, I didn't. So
you called me about half an hour later and were like, so it's postponed? Yeah.
So Caleb, so we were supposed to also go to Action Bronson this past Sunday, which was also postponed. So what
are the chances?
Yeah, what are the chances of both concerts being postponed same weekend?
And the thing with Bronson is we have no idea why.
Yeah, we just out of the blue postponed. No reason. But nah, man, like, I'm just sitting there stewing, and I'm like, what if it's, like, not postponed, he's just fucking with me? Like, there's a good chance he's just fucking with me, and, like, you know, it's not a big deal. Like, he'll call me in a few or something like that and tell me, or something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, and, like, I was trying, as I'm driving, I'm trying to fucking look to see if I can see any information about a possible postponement. Yeah. And I can't find any. And I call Caleb, like, 30, 45 minutes later, like, is it postponed? And he's like, yeah, man, United Center posted it. I was like, fuck. Yeah. So, yeah. It's tough. But I'm really just glad that it's obviously, number one, still happening, and number two, all of us are able to go.
It's
huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're hyped.
Yeah,
we're hyped.
It's not worst case scenario, but it was not best case scenario.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
But we'll be there.
We will. And you'll hear about it.
Yeah, you'll hear about it. Yeah.
So, yeah. So what are we looking forward to 2024 as a business, as a clothing brand, as entrepreneurs?
Yeah, word. That's a good question. I think.
Like, I mean, you said more events, and like we're definitely gonna do more events, but I think we're gonna be a bit more selective.
Yeah, a little bit more selective about where.
Just to make sure like the demographic overlaps and matches well with us, and then also just like the it's worth it for us to do it.
Right.
There were events we did this year that just don't make sense for us like financially.
Right.
So.
And I think that's the biggest one. Like Caleb said, is just finding the correct financial ones. Finding ones that will fit within profit margins and make sense for us.
Right.
Yeah, I think just continuing to put out stuff, some new stuff, re-releasing some stuff, because I think we do have some really cool shirts that we already have, and I think
and that have sold out.
That is sold out, right? So throwing those back up. I'd like to possibly do that winter accessory again. We'll talk about it later.
Talking about it?
Yeah, we'll talk about one of those. We could fucking sell those well. It's more a question of if we could get into an event early enough to sell those.
Right.
Or if within season.
If people that already know about us that shop online would also purchase them. So if you would like one of these, let us know.
Yeah, let us know if you want one. An embroidered beanie, by the way, if you don't know. One of these. But yeah, so I think it's just continuing to share the message, continuing to share the message and create the community, build the community.
Yeah. And I think the community is big. Like, we made a lot of connections and met a lot of people this year, and I want to just like make that bigger. Yeah,
facts. I do too, and I want to continue and build the relationships with the people we've met as well.
Right.
I think there's been some really special people that have come into Afloat's life this year. So looking to expand with y'all for real.
Yeah.
And on top of that, I think too, just like I lost it. I had something great that I was just about to say for what I wanted with the brand. Can't remember it.
It'll come back. It'll come back.
But yeah, I mean, just continuing to build.
Yeah.
It's really just a continuation of building this brand, brick by brick. Just continuing to build it up.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Oh, that's what it was. Continuing to also just like work on the pod and stuff too. Like we give a fuck about y'all. Everyone that tunes in weekly and listens, like we really appreciate y'all. So
in the next month, I think I wanna try to have somebody on.
Word.
We've reached out to somebody, or they reached out to us coming on the podcast, and we want to make it happen, and we're going to.
Yeah, and we I think there's a couple people that I think could be really cool to have on that we could definitely talk to and make possible.
So like I would say like once every 6 weeks, maybe once a month. That's ambitious, but it'd be cool to just have people on.
No, I agree.
Just spark different conversations.
Yeah. No, word. I fully agree, and I think too with it, I think like especially a lot of people that like we talk to are born and raised Chicago, or at least have been in Chicago for a while. So hearing from them and hearing how Chicago has shaped them into creating what they've created for their business and stuff like that is really awesome. Chicago breeds a lot of creativity and a lot of creative talent.
Yeah.
And I think that's something too that I want to really highlight on this podcast as well. And also I think too, just kind of invest into it some more a little bit too.
Sure.
Here and there.
Yeah.
There's always upgrades to make. So as financially things get better for myself, and like to start investing a little bit more into the podcast. I'd like to give it back to y'all, because really the people that tune in and like listen weekly and shit like that, for any of y'all that are out there, y'all are really the people. Like we fuck with y'all heavily, man. Like to sit there and listen to us for like an hour a week.
Even if this is your first episode.
Yeah,
we appreciate you.
Of course.
We appreciate you. But like obviously the day ones, the weekly listeners definitely have a special place in the hearts of Afloat.
Yeah, so. we really appreciate y'all. So just want to continue to make this experience a million times better for y'all too, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, fucking police siren going off. Let that fade out.
Yeah.
Alright, there we go. Caleb, was there anything else? I mean, do we have other things to talk about? I feel like we low-key ran through what we had to talk about. At least from what I remember.
We kind of did. I mean, yeah. If we want to wrap it up, we can wrap it up.
We can wrap it up. We can leave it for 2024.
Yeah. This is goodbye of 2023, and we'll see you in 2024, I guess.
Yeah, can't wait to see y'all in 2024.
Yeah.
Big things coming in 2024. We can't wait for y'all to be a part of it.
Hope you have a happy holidays.
Yeah, happy holidays to everybody. Stay afloat.
Yeah.
Love y'all.